In our assignment today, a conversation with Thurman, I took on the role of as a proposal. In this conversation, I agree with a lot of what the Mr. Thurman had to say. As Dr. Thurman was talking about things like community sharing and connecting church family and a world that's sealed off from the whites and unity. I can relate to those things because during the era that he was born, uh, many years later, during the era that I was born, things really hadn't changed. I can also remember when uh, someone in the community or the neighborhood could send me to the store, and I didn't have to run all the way home to ask my mother, was it okay? Because once I did get home, all I had to tell her was that Mr. or Mrs. So and so sent me to the store, and it was all right because it was a community. I can remember when there was two or three different churches in the neighborhood. Actually, two churches, a Methodist and a Baptist church. And we was one spiritual family because we shared the church experience. Those churches in those days when I was raised were in the time of segregation was uh, two Sunday churches. The first and third Sunday, we was at the Methodist church. The second and fourth Sunday, we was at the Baptist church. But we was all one big religious family because we was in one neighborhood. And the unity that we showed for one another was amazing. So again, I got a lot out of this reading and out of this interview with Dr. Thurman. I thought that it was a great interview, and that I took the time to read it and to reflect upon it and see a parallel of my life as I was growing up during those segregated times. Um, I appreciate the opportunity to catch up on such reading as Dr. Thurman. Uh, I'm looking forward to reading some of his other material. Uh, so as I close this recording and this assignment, I would just like to say that Dr. Thorne laid out a real good narrative of what shaped his life, and it was basically his connection with religion and nature around him, and I can see that having a big bearing on my life. Being raised in the country, uh, being close to nature, uh, being close to those who worked the land and trusted God to do what God had to do in being farmers and planters and gatherers. Uh, it just connected the two, and I do understand. And I was very pleased that I had something in common as he paralleled his narrative with mine.